Hey, Kathy, I got good news and bad news. Which do you want first?
This may be unconventional, but let's hear the good news first for a change.
All right, good news it is. I'm going shopping with my mom.
Oh, okay, that's cool, I guess. When are you going?
Actually, that's the bad news.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, but Mom says she wants to go today.
No way. Daryl, are you kidding me? You're going shopping with her today of all days?
I know, you don't have to tell me. I know today was the day we were supposed to go talk with the wedding planner.
If you knew that, then why did you say yes? Couldn't you have done shopping with your mom another day?
I said I was sorry. There was no way I could reschedule this shopping trip.
Why not?
Because Mom said she wanted to go today.
Why?
I don't know, she just said she wanted to go today, that's all I know. So yeah, how can I reschedule it if she wanted to go today?
Hold on. You're saying that the reason you couldn't reschedule to another day is because your mom wanted to go shopping today? Like, that's it? It's nothing urgent, there's no rush. She just wanted to go today, so you're going today? Am I missing something?
I don't know what there is to miss. This is my mom we're talking about, Kathy. The woman who gave birth to me, raised me, made me who I am today. She's my family.
Aren't we getting married? Doesn't that make us family?
We're not married yet, are we?
What, so once we officially tie the knot, then you'll start prioritizing your commitments to me?
And that depends.
It depends on what?
It depends on whether I need to prioritize my family or not.
Okay, now you've lost me. You said we're not married yet, so I'm not your family yet, but you won't give me priority over your mom even after we get married?
That's how family works, Kathy. Haven't you ever heard the expression, blood is thicker than water?
For the record, the original meaning of that expression is the opposite of how you're intending to use it, but that's beside the point. So there's no way you can reschedule this shopping trip with your mom then?
Not a chance. Mom says today, so we're going today.
Fine, we'll just have to reschedule the meeting with the wedding planner.
Are you insane? The wedding is in 2 months. We don't have the time to reschedule for a later date.
Are you telling me I have to go by myself?
Yeah, is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem. This is supposed to be our wedding, isn't it?
And it's gonna be. I trust you to make the right decisions about everything, Kathy. I mean, what even is there to plan? You get a white dress, I get a black tuxedo. What else is there?
A ton of stuff. We need to choose the decorations, reception meal, invitation designs. I can't do this all by myself.
Well, you're gonna have to because Mom just pulled up in the car, so we're out of here. See you later, Kathy. Have fun talking with the wedding planner.
Hey there, Kathy. Listen, dear, I'm so sorry about taking Daryl shopping with me last week, but I just couldn't go shopping without him. I needed someone to carry all my bags for me. You pulled Daryl away from the meeting with the wedding planner just to carry your bags? When you're as wealthy as our family, a simple shopping trip can end up requiring a moving van to bring it all home. Not that you'd know anything about that. Right. So, did you get everything settled with the wedding then? Not quite. Let's just say there's a lot of work to do before this wedding happens. A lot of work. You had all afternoon to discuss things with her, though. Oh well, you'll just have to make time to meet with her again. Did you at least get your wedding dress picked out? No, we never got around to that. But the wedding dress is the most important thing in the wedding. That should have been your first priority. Well, without Daryl there, it was difficult to move the conversation along. No matter, I've got the perfect solution for you. You can wear my dress. Your dress? You mean the one that you wore at your wedding? That's right, dear. It's only ever been used once, and it's been sitting untouched in my closet ever since. I see. Well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not so sure that would work out. Nonsense, it'll be great. It may smell a teensy-weensy bit like mothballs, but that only adds to the character of the dress, I'd say. It's sure to leave an impression at any rate. And isn't vintage clothing all the rage with the youth these days? I'm pretty sure my idea of vintage and yours are a few decades apart. Oh, and did I mention it was made by a famous designer? It cost me over $10,000 when I bought it, and that was 30 years ago. Oh, one more thing I should probably tell you. There are a few holes in it, but that's nothing that can't be stitched up, and no one will even notice. Karen, I'm really grateful for you to offer to let me use your dress, but really, it's all right. When I get married, I want to be wearing a dress that I picked out for myself. Perhaps I didn't make myself clear. Let's try that again. Kathy, you are going to wear my dress to your wedding. Again, thank you for the kind offer, but I'm going to choose my own dress. That wasn't an offer. It was an order. Excuse me? I mean, really, who do you think you are, turning down my generosity like a pretentious little brat? That's uncalled for, Karen. If I'm being honest, I've seen pictures of your wedding, and I don't think your dress would look good on me. That's all. How dare you? You commoners are all the same. You wouldn't know high fashion if Coco Chanel personally came up and slapped you in the face. This is my son's wedding, and I will not allow you to wear some dress you bought at a sale at a department store. What do you mean, commoner? What is this, medieval Europe? You know exactly what I mean. Our family is a long line of successful entrepreneurs. Daryl has a high-paying job at an industrial giant, and one day he'll inherit our family's estate. And what are you doing with your life, Kathy? Daryl doesn't tell me much about your work, but I do know that you've been hopping from company to company on almost a monthly basis. I take it you've never heard of a freelancer, then? Is that what you young people call being a rolling stone these days? Not exactly. But anyway, this conversation has gone way off the rails. I'm not going to wear your wedding dress, Karen. That's all I have to say on the subject. You are in no position to say no to me. That Daryl, what was he thinking proposing to a girl like you? You're poor, you have no taste, you're insolent and ungrateful. He could have had any woman he wanted. Well, excuse me for being such a hot commodity. I'll have you know Daryl was the one who made the first move in our relationship. I was at a party when he came up to me and said he saw me from across the room, thought I was beautiful, and asked me out to dinner. But what really sealed the deal was when I cooked dinner for him at my place. He told me it was the best food he'd ever eaten. Better than yours, actually. So while you may not see any appeal in me, your son sure did. I don't believe that for 1 second. You, a better cook than me? Not a chance. If you don't believe me, you can ask him yourself. I'm a pretty good cook. I bet you had someone else cook it for you. What's that new app thingy called? Super Feats? It's Uber Eats, Karen. Whatever it's called, I don't care. The point is, you must have used some kind of trickery to make Daryl fall for you. Your feminine wiles may have worked on him, but I'm no fool. I see right through you. Don't forget that I can make my son do whatever I want him to. Trust me, I'm aware of that. Good, then you're aware that if I tell him to break up with you, your engagement is over. If you want to hold on to your dream of living on my family's money, then you had better watch your tongue. Good morning, Kathy. I'm sure you're wondering why we're not at the wedding, aren't you? Well, there's a very good reason for that. We all decided to go on vacation. You what? Me and my husband and my son are all in Hawaii. I can't believe this. Today is the wedding. You can't expect me to believe you forgot. No, we were all very aware the wedding was today when we bought our tickets. Okay, so you knew the wedding was today and you went on vacation anyway? Why would you do that? I know someone of your low stature may never understand this, but there's more to life than silly ceremonies. Silly ceremony? You think your son's wedding is a silly ceremony? Obviously, dear. The whole thought of my son marrying a shrill harpy from the slums is so utterly ridiculous it borders on comical. But even if you were someone of any real importance, family is still the most important thing in this world. Ah, I see where Daryl got his ideas on marriage from. So you're under the impression that someone's birth family is more important than their spouse, is that right? It's simply the natural law of the world. I gave birth to him, Kathy. There is nothing you could ever do to make him love you more than me. You should get used to the fact as soon as possible, since you'll be his wife sooner or later. Sooner or later, huh? Well, seeing as you guys are in Hawaii right now, I guess it's looking to be more on the later side. I mean, I have to say, this is just astonishing. I'm almost too shocked to be angry at you. What possible excuse could you have to plan a vacation for the day of your son's wedding? Please, I'm just dying to hear any justification you have. You sound like such a Taurus right now. Oh no. Oh, please no. Tell me this doesn't have anything to do with astrology. Everything has to do with astrology, you uncultured fool. The horoscope was clear. Today was a good day for traveling. The second I read this week's newspaper, I went out and bought the tickets for all three of us. Without even talking to Daryl first? Why bother? He's my son. I know he would never disobey me. And sure enough, when I told him we were going on vacation, he immediately spoke to his superior and got his paid time off approved. We've spent the last few days discussing all the fun, adventurous things we want to do while we're here. I'm glad to hear the three of you have such good communication. Tell me, Karen, at any point in the last few days while you were discussing your wonderful Hawaiian vacation, did you ever think to tell anyone else about your trip? I'm confused. Who else would we tell? I don't know. How about me? You know, the person who was supposed to marry your son today? Oh, well, I guess we must have forgotten about you. Sorry about that. Don't worry, though. This was meant to be. It was written in the stars that my family would go on this vacation. You might be upset about that now, but I'm sure that something good will come out of all this. One day you'll come to be grateful that we took this vacation. We'll see about that. And what about the guests? What about them? What am I supposed to tell them? They're all gathered at the chapel right now, waiting for the wedding to start. What are you going to do about them? I don't care. Tell them whatever you'd like. No one from our side of the family is there. It's all your relatives. So you're not concerned that my relatives all went out of their way to come to a wedding that is now going to be canceled? Some people traveled to be here. Others took time off of work. Yes, and? Your family is nothing but menial laborers. If they did important jobs like my Daryl, maybe it would merit an apology, but they should be thanking me if anything. They're free to spend the rest of the day doing whatever they'd like now that the wedding is canceled. Tell them they can go home and drink or watch football or whatever it is that you poor people do on your days off. Okay, I've heard enough of your disgusting lies about my family. My family are not poor, and they do not spend their days off drinking and watching football. But that's not even the worst part of it. The worst part is that you are severely prejudiced against people less fortunate than you. You were born into a wealthy family. Congratulations, you won the genetic lottery. Some people, however, had to work for what they have in life. My parents were both born poor, but they started their own business. That business grew and grew and grew, and they're doing quite well for themselves now. Oh, congratulations. How's the lawn service business doing? I bet you're mowing at least 3 lawns a week. Enough. You owe me and my entire family an apology this instant. I don't owe you or your family anything. You owe me and my family for paying the taxes that keep you alive. What is wrong with you? I've told you so many times, we're not poor. Your pathetic lies won't work on me, Kathy. I know what you are, and I always have. I will not apologize to you because I've done nothing wrong. Now hurry up and tell the wedding staff that the wedding is canceled. You're the ones who are canceling it, not me. You talk to them. I have much better things to do with my time, like getting a massage, eating tropical fruits, basking in the glorious Hawaiian sun. You really are something else, Karen. You, Daryl, and your whole family, you're all sick. Nonsense, we're not sick. We've never felt better. The tropical breeze here really soothes the body and soul. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm off to enjoy the scenery now. Tell the staff and guests the wedding is canceled. What wedding? What other wedding is there? Your wedding. My wedding? Why would I have a wedding today? Whatever game you're playing, I'm not interested. It's no game. What, were you under the impression Daryl and I were getting married? Why would we be getting married when he never even proposed? He never... What? Daryl never proposed. And there was never going to be a wedding today, so there's nothing to cancel. But you just said about my family being here? Yeah, that was a lie. Daryl never asked me to marry him, so I never reserved a venue, caterer, nothing. But, that's impossible. Then why did you go to the wedding planner? Beats me. One day, Daryl suddenly started acting as though we were getting married. That was surprising to me, considering, once again, he never asked me and I never said yes, but I just kind of went along with it. Then one day, he told me he made a reservation to talk with the wedding planner. That was the day you took him shopping. I told you we didn't get much planned, right? That's because we spent the entire meeting on a different subject. What in the world were you talking about then? How big of a jerk Daryl is. What? I told her how he never proposed, he just kept pushing me along toward marriage, and I didn't know what to do about it. So we talked about our relationship for a while, and at the end she told me, Kathy, you need to walk away from this relationship as soon as possible. And you know what? She is right. I don't want to marry an insensitive jerk like him. I wouldn't put up with your family's toxicity even if I did want any of your money. But I don't need it, so I'm leaving. Enjoy your vacation. Kathy, wait! I don't understand!
You're wrong, Kathy. I did propose to you. Why would you deny that? Don't you remember the night we went to that fireworks show? I bought the best, most expensive seats they had. We were the closest to the launch area of anyone in the crowd. Then during the finale, they did that crazy thing where there were like 20 things shooting off at the same time, and that was when I proposed. I said, clear as day, let's get married.
You did? That's odd. I don't remember hearing you say that at all.
You what? I asked you to be my wife and you weren't even listening to me?
Reread the texts you just sent me about the fireworks show, and it should all become clear to you.
I read everything again and I still don't get it.
Oh, for the love of... I couldn't hear myself think during that finale. Like you said, there were dozens of things exploding at the same time, practically right above our heads.
You should have been paying more attention to me. What's more important, me or the fireworks?
During the finale? The fireworks! Regardless of whether I heard you or not, I definitely didn't say yes.
Yes, you did!
When? How? Did I ever say, yes, Daryl, I want to marry you?
No, but you smiled.
And?
You smiled right when I said, let's get married. I thought that you had heard me, but you were just too shy to say the words.
No way. You took a smile during the fireworks show as me saying yes to getting married?
What else was I supposed to think?
That I was enjoying the show. I wasn't even looking at you, was I?
Well, no, but still.
But nothing, Daryl. Look, whether you proposed to me or not is really not the issue anymore. Let's say for a second that you did everything right. You got down on one knee, looked me in the eyes, whipped out a ring, and said, will you marry me? Let's even say, for the purpose of the argument, that I said yes and meant it. After the events of these past few months, I would have broken off the engagement anyway.
What? How can you say that? What have I done to you that would make you want to break up with me?
Oh boy, how much time do you have? Sit down, this'll be a while. The only work you did regarding the wedding was to make the reservation with the planner. You pushed all the other work onto me. You never even sat down and looked at the pamphlets you picked up together with me. Then you blew off the reservation you made to go shopping with your mom?
But I thought that weddings were more of a woman's thing. Don't women like to have everything exactly how they wanted it? I was footing the bill for it so you could have whatever kind of wedding you wanted.
No, sorry, that excuse isn't gonna fly with me. You didn't make me do all of the work out of concern for my wishes. You were just being lazy. You never even asked me about what we talked about when I went to see the planner. You were clearly indifferent to the whole thing and insensitive to me. I I would never marry a man who is so inconsiderate of me and my feelings as you are.
Kathy, please, I do care about your feelings. Why won't you believe me?
You told me I still wouldn't get priority over your mom even after we got married.
Yeah, but we already had that talk. Family comes first.
Oh yeah? I learned all about your family's bizarre notions of marriage and family life. You're exactly like your mother. I don't want anything to do with your family.
Look, I messed up, I know, but I can do better.
No, Daryl, I really don't think you can. Give it up. I will never marry you. Enjoy your vacation, Daryl. This is goodbye. I just heard about everything from Daryl. I can't believe you didn't actually hear him propose. I already talked about this enough for one day, Karen. I'd like to move on with my life now, if that's all right. It's all water under the bridge. We do have one final bit of unfinished business, however. Stop sending me that dress. I am not going to wear it to marry your son or any other man. I have spent far too much on return shipping as it is. I was only trying to be helpful. You know what would be helpful? If you could stop harassing the hotel staff. Harassing? I'm not harassing anyone. You've been doing nothing but making ridiculous demands from the hotel staff since you arrived and screaming your head off at them when they decline. You asked for free dinners, free upgrades, free room service, and more perks because your son is getting married. He's not anymore, but even if the wedding were still on, that wouldn't entitle you to free room and board. I didn't ask for that much. You even asked them to knock 50% off the price of your stay because Daryl might come back there for his honeymoon. Hey, wait a second. How do you know all of this? Wouldn't you like to know? Yes, I would. Now tell me. My parents own that hotel. You're lying. Well, to be more accurate, their company owns the hotel. They operate the one you're staying at and a couple others in Hawaii. Not to mention a bunch more all across the country. And to think back, it all started with buying an old bed and breakfast and renovating it. You're serious, aren't you? But if that's true, then your parents must be some of the wealthiest people on the planet. They're 1%ers at any rate. Why didn't you ever tell me about them? I don't know. You never asked. I doubt you'd believe me even if I had told you. You were so committed to holding this image of me as being some poor girl from the slums until my knight in shining armor Daryl came to sweep me off my feet. So you'll have to understand why I didn't talk to you very much about my family after you spent all that time belittling them before even meeting them. You had no right to keep that from me. I absolutely did, but while we're at it, would you like to hear more about my job? I'm a freelance hotel management consultant. That's why I kept going from hotel to hotel, because I would get hired to consult for them on a specific issue, and when the job was done, I moved on. I'm doing this as a sort of training program for when I one day take over my parents' empire of hotels. I've done consulting work in just about all the major tourism destinations in the country by now. It's a great experience. You're kidding. You are going to run the business? Who would be better than me? I've been working with my mom and dad from the very beginning. I started out sweeping up the floors in their first bed and breakfast after school, and look at me now. So, Karen, did I convince you yet that I'm not poor? Yes, you have. You know, I will admit one thing. You might have just convinced me about astrology. Your horoscope was 100% right. Something good did come out of your vacation. I am finally rid of your psycho family. It never quite sunk in for Daryl that I was through with him. He kept on messaging me for weeks on end about being sorry and begging me to take him back. In the end, I just turned off notifications for his texts and calls. He can continue to shout into the void if he wants. His mom did the same thing, begging me to take Daryl back. She was even generous enough to buy me a brand new dress, any dress I wanted. Her, I blocked. You won't be surprised to hear that Karen blamed the breakup of the non-engagement on me when she explained everything to her relatives. But somehow word got around to them about, everything. About the proposal that never happened, the way Karen tried to force me to wear her ragged old dress, the way they went to Hawaii on the day of the wedding. It wasn't me, honest. Well, maybe it was me. But now their relatives are starting to call and visit much less than they did before.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Lily, you never told me that your little sister was such a looker. I mean, she's just stunning. Are you two even really related? Because I would just find that really hard to believe.
Sorry, Eric, what is this all about? I don't quite get what you mean by that.
Well, today when we went to go and meet your parents to tell them about our engagement, that was my first time ever meeting your sister. But I just had no idea that she was such a pretty lady. I mean, is she working as a model or something? Because she could. Do you know if she's seeing anyone right now? Does she have a boyfriend or a husband or something?
I don't know if my sister is dating anyone, but if you must know, she is a model, yes. Although she doesn't even do that full time, just every now and then from what I've heard.
But still, that's so amazing. Next time you see her, make sure to ask her whether or not she's seeing anyone. Also, if she says that she is single, would you mind giving her my number?
Hold on a second, what? Are you really asking your fiancé for another woman's number?
Almost had you there, didn't I? You didn't really think that I was serious about that, right? But does that mean that your sister Flora is going to take over your family's hotel business then? Because if she did, I think you can bet on business booming with a looker like her running things. Oh, are your parents still expecting you to take things over?
You know what, Eric? I am so sorry that even though I am going to take over the hotel, that I guess I'm not as pretty as my sister.
Oh, come on, I was just messing around. You know that I wasn't really being serious, right? Why do you always have to take things so seriously? You get mad way too easily.
I'm not mad right now, Eric. It's just that even if you were joking, you've been saying some really mean things to me. Besides, you're the one who was so interested in taking over your family's business in the first place. That's the whole reason I quit my job and started learning the ropes of how it works.
Yeah, and I'm very grateful that you've done that and stuff. You know, I really didn't think that you would quit your job and do all this because I just asked you to. I was really surprised when you did it.
Well then, maybe you should just watch the way that you talk to me then. Besides, you know that this weekend I'm going to that special training camp for hotel management. But I can already tell this isn't going to work unless we're both dedicated to the work.
Oh, don't worry. I'll give you all the help you need. You know that you can always count on me, right?
Look, if we actually take over the hotel, we're going to be doing that full time. We will literally be living in the hotel to be able to respond to anything that might come up. So this weekend has got to go really well.
Oh, come on. This is exactly why I married you. I know that you're a strong-willed driven woman, and if anyone is going to be able to run a hotel successfully, it's going to be you. But I promise to give you all the support that I can. You just have to say the word, okay?
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Okay then, I guess I'll see you this weekend, right? Hey there, Lily. You didn't tell me that you were engaged to the future owner of that old hotel in town. I wish you would have told me that you were just getting married for the money. You really couldn't tell just by looking at you, but you're a sneaky one, aren't you? Flora, I'm sorry, but you really have no idea what you're talking about at all. We're going to be taking over his parents' hotel business together and be running that place. It was going to be really tough, but after I finish this workshop this weekend, I'm actually going to be taking over operations. Wait, really? You're going to be running the hotel? Man, and here I was figuring out how I could get out of having to live with mom and dad, but you've already got it all figured out. Plus, this means that you're going to be making a lot of money, right? Sorry, but what do you mean by that? Well, I mean that you said you were going to be taking over operations for a whole hotel. Not to mention that you're marrying the heir to the business, so how much are you going to be bringing home? I bet you could make something like $500 a day. I mean, hotels make a lot of money, don't they? I don't think that my pay is going to be quite that crazy. Besides, even though I'll be taking over operations, it's still just on a training basis. I'm actually going to be keeping my part-time job while I'm being trained. Oh, come on, you know that you don't have to be modest for me, right? Tell me how much money you're going to make. Is it really that big of a deal? Flora, I'm really not lying to you about anything. But you're going to be marrying the heir to that hotel, right? I wonder if you're going to have to dress up like a little bellboy during your training. But your fiancé Eric is just a little older than you, right? You know, he isn't even that bad looking. I actually think he might even be my type. In fact, I think that I might just try and steal him from you. Flora, what on earth are you talking about? Come on, you know that I'm just joking, right? I would never do something like that. After all, I would hate to steal away the man who you're just marrying for his money. That wouldn't be very nice of me. Well, even if that was a joke, I didn't find it very funny, Flora. You haven't been nice to me at all during this conversation. Hey, do you think that you could introduce me to your fiancé formally sometime? Maybe the three of us could go out and grab dinner or something. Anyways, in the meantime, good luck with all your training. Hey, Eric, what is your problem? Where are you right now? You do know that we're supposed to be getting married today, don't you? So maybe you could care to explain to me just what this note is that you left saying that you're going to run off and elope with my little sister?
Oh, Lily, I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. Yeah, I'm really sorry about all this, but I think that Flora and I are just meant to be, so that's why we're running off together. Go ahead and tell everyone at the wedding venue that the whole thing is off.
I don't believe you. What on earth do you mean that you two are meant for each other? You know, I was thinking that you'd been acting suspiciously lately. But I didn't think it was because you were plotting to run away with my sister.
Yeah, but what could I do? I mean, your sister is just such a looker, and I am a man after all. Besides, when she came to me and told me that she wanted to marry me, well, how could I refuse her? It was like a dream come true or something like that, you know?
Well, you need to wake up right now and get back to reality. Because we are literally supposed to be getting married today, and I can tell you now that no good is going to come to you from this. Besides, if you and Flora run off, then what's going to happen to your parents' hotel?
This isn't my problem anymore. In fact, as long as I've lived, I've never ever wanted to take over that musty old hotel.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's true. But as my parents' only son, I had no choice but to agree to take it over. But all the time I was looking for a way out. Besides, I was never good at any kind of business stuff or managing people. All I want to do is just relax and live my life without anything to worry about.
You are just crazy. Do you know that? I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, the thing is that I never ever had the bravery to actually run from all of this. I was so ready to have to take things over. But then when I met you, I realized that I could count on you to do most of the work, and then I wasn't as worried. Until I met your sister. She approached me and asked if I wanted to run away and marry her, and the moment she asked, I knew that I was going to be able to do this.
So then you're really just going to run away and never come back? And you're just going to completely abandon your parents' legacy with a second thought?
Yep, you summed it up pretty nicely. But you can have it if you want.
You are just incredible, do you know that? You're really going to abandon your family business just to run away with my sister?
Well, let's face it, you were always much better equipped to take care of it than I was. I'm sure that my parents would be more than happy to know that it was you taking over their business instead of me. In fact, it's thanks to you and your sister that I found the bravery to run away like this. Now that I know that you'll still be here to take over the hotel, I can finally sleep well.
I can't believe that you waited until our wedding day to tell me all of this. And now you're just going to run away like this and abandon everything for Flora?
Right, well, anyways, good luck taking care of the hotel. You can do it.
In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy living a fabulous life with my wealthy new boyfriend. Wait a second, boyfriend? Is this Flora right now? That's right. I just asked Eric to pass me his phone so that we could talk. I guess I ended up stealing your rich fiancé from you after all, huh? But now that I'm with him, it's clear to me that he and I go far better together than you two do. For the last time, I wasn't marrying him for his money. And even if you steal him away from me like this, things are not going to go how you think they are. Besides, how is Eric going to be wealthy without his hotel? You still don't know anything, do you? Nothing has changed. Eric is still his parents' only son. So that means that he's the only one who's going to be there to get to take care of them when they get older. Besides, even if we do run away like this, his parents are still going to support us. What choice do they have? You really think you're going to get away with this? Of course. After all, you must know how easy his parents have made his life and how soft they are on him. They might not like what they're doing, but they aren't going to stop us. So now we're never ever going to have to work again, and we'll just get paid out every month. We'll be able to do whatever we want. Maybe we'll even go travel the world. You two really think that your lives are going to be that perfect from here on out? Aw, don't be jealous just because you'll be stuck working at the hotel. Just remember that all your hard work is going to be lining our pockets and funding our travels. You have got to be kidding me. You really think that this stupid plan of yours is going to work out? You think you can just leave the hotel for me to take care of and run off like this? This is the stupidest idea that you've ever had. Oh, just quit your whining already. You're just mad because I stole your husband and you lost. Lost? This isn't a game. This is real life. I don't care what you say. I know that I'm right. In fact, I'm so confident this will go well that I've already quit my job. And to think that Eric was almost going to marry an ugly girl like you. You are really just ridiculous. Do you know that? Oh, please, as if you can even be mad at me when you were going to marry him for his money like I am. You're just mad that I'm never going to have to work another day in my life while you'll be slaving away in that hotel. So I guess I'm not only the prettier sister, I'm also the smartest. Okay, fine, let's do this. Have a nice life. What are you talking about? Is this your way of still being a sore loser? Oh, I'm not sore, and I'm certainly not a loser. But you should know that I'm set to inherit the hotel. If anything, I'm glad that dead weight like Eric is finally going to be gone. Dead weight? What are you talking about? Go ahead and tell him this for me. Tell him that his parents are going to leave the hotel to me, and that you two are never getting any money from them. What are you talking about? You really don't think that his parents are going to help him at all when he's their only son? You really don't know anything, do you?
Hey, Lily, what the heck is going on here, huh? What the heck did you go and say to my parents? Huh?
I'm sure that I have no idea what you're talking about at all right now, Eric.
I mean, that I just got a call from my parents. They told me that now that I've run away with Flora, they don't even consider me their son anymore. They told me that if I want to get money every month, that I would have to go out and find a job. And to think, after all I've done for them. They told me that they were never even going to send me a cent, even if I was desperate.
Well, that all makes sense to me, Eric. I mean, did you really think that you running away like this would wind up any other way?
Of course I didn't. They can't do this to me. I mean, I'm their only son. I'm the only one that they can count on. They aren't supposed to be treating me like this.
Well, yes, you were their only son and heir to their hotel. But now that you've run away and you have no interest in the business, what would your parents have to gain by sending you money? Besides, with me here to take care of things, there's really no need for you to be around at all.
But then, you're really serious? You're really going to inherit the hotel from my parents?
I'm sorry, but weren't you the one who ran off with my sister and told me I'd be better at doing that job anyways?
Well, yeah, sure, I said that, but I didn't think that would mean that my parents would just leave the hotel to you.
You mean to tell me that Flora still hasn't told you about any of this? I told you to tell her that I would be taking over the hotel and that your parents don't need you around anymore now that you ran off with her. I mean, did you really think they wouldn't care at all if you cheated on your fiancé and ran off with her sister?
Wait, hold on just a second. What do you mean they don't need me anymore?
Well, I mean, I actually really enjoyed my training. And I think that you were right. I really do have a knack for this management stuff. It really is just like you said.
But then, they're really just going to abandon me like this?
That's right. I think your mom took it the hardest, though. She admitted to always spoiling you when you were little. She blamed herself for your irresponsibility and said that you would have never had the disposition to take over the family business. Both your parents were so nervous about leaving the business in your hands. Until I came along, that is.
You have to be kidding me. That can't be happening.
Well, it is, and when you ran off with Flora, that really was the last straw for them. After you did that, you left both your parents in sheer shock. But then your mom turned around at the wedding venue, looked at me, and said this was their chance to set everything right. She said that since you were out of the picture now, that I was the clear choice to take over the hotel. Not to mention they wanted to apologize to me for what you, their idiot son, did.
So then, they're really just going to give you their life's work and give me nothing?
It sure seems that way, doesn't it?
But then, where am I supposed to get money from? How am I supposed to live?
Well, you and Flora could go and try getting jobs. How about that? Or did you two really not think that far with this little plot of yours? Either way, you two aren't my problem anymore, and I never want to hear from either of you again. I am going to sue the two of you for breaking off our engagement with your affair. And then you really will be left with nothing. After that, I took Eric and Flora to court for their affair, which resulted in the breaking off of our marriage. They begged Eric's parents to try and bail them out of this mess, but both of them refused to go along with it. In the end, Eric realized that he had nobody in his corner anymore. Even Flora, once she found out that Eric was penniless, said that she would leave him as soon as the lawsuit finished. They both ended up having to take out loans to afford to pay the legal fees, and then they went their separate ways. My family agreed to cut off Flora and never talk to her again, while Eric's parents did the same with him. In the meantime, I used the money I got from the lawsuit to concentrate on the hotel full-time by quitting my job. This is going to be my first winter here, but things have been going so well at the hotel that for the first time in decades, we are going to be completely booked out. Eric's parents say that it's all thanks to the hard work I've been putting into the hotel. I guess in some ways, I'm grateful to Eric for pushing me into a business that I never would have tried without him. Not that I'd ever tell him that.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Kelly, you've got some explaining to do. Why didn't you come to the class reunion yesterday? Do you have any idea how much I've been looking forward to seeing you all of these years? Believe me, I have an idea. I, however, have no interest in seeing you at all. In fact, considering the fact that you're an evil, backstabbing, conniving little witch, I'd rather never see your face again if I can avoid it. Why do you think I didn't come to the reunion? It was to avoid having to deal with you. Are you serious? Is that any way to talk to your best friend in the whole wide world? Best friend? You? You've got to be kidding me. You stole my boyfriend from me, June. You aren't my friend at all, much less my best friend. I promise you, June, I will never forget that for as long as I live. Oh, come on, really? You're still mad over a tiny little thing like that? Grow up! You're such a spoiled little brat, Kelly. Just like you were back in high school. Oh, I'm the spoiled brat, am I? Okay, so sure. Back in high school, I stole your boyfriend from you, but that was high school. It's been 10 years since we graduated, Kelly. I'm surprised you even remember that happening. It was all ancient history. Don't you think it's time you moved on? Let bygones be bygones? Okay, let's say for the sake of this discussion that I did forgive you for that, which I never will. That still leaves a laundry list of the other cruel things you did to me back then. I'm not gonna let you sit over there and pretend you've forgotten all about that. Huh? Wait, I did other stuff to you? Like what? You weren't content with just stealing my boyfriend in high school. You followed me around during my college years too, and every time I started talking to a guy, you would jump in between us and sleep with him. I never had a chance to have an ordinary relationship in college thanks to you. And then, after I graduated, found a job, and thought I was rid of you, I met this guy at work who I had great chemistry with, and what did you do? You went out of your way to apply to my company through a temp agency. Then, the next day, after you started working, you posted a picture on your Instagram account of you and him in bed together. I remember that now. His name was Julian, right? All I did was invite him out for a drink once, and he immediately took me back to his apartment. So yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with you again. I told you as much back then. What makes you think I'd have changed my mind by now? I turned down the invitation to the reunion the instant I heard you were coming. Yeah, I was kind of a wild child back then, huh? Sorry. But hey, it wasn't all easy. I had some pretty rough times too. Imagine how I felt being betrayed by my own best friend. After you did that, I couldn't help but get back at you. Childish, I know, but I was in high school. What are you talking about? I never betrayed you, not even once. Oh yeah, I'm sure you think you're some kind of perfect little angel who's never done anything wrong in your life, but I will never forget what you did to me. I had a massive crush on the same boy ever since we were in daycare together. And then, once we got into high school, I finally had the courage to tell him how I felt and asked him to be my boyfriend, but he said no. And why was that? Because he had a crush on you. What? How do you think it felt to have my first love crushed by my own best friend? I went into a spiraling depression. I didn't eat anything for days. That's why I kept stealing your boyfriends away from you. That's why I took every chance to stop you from getting with the guys you liked. I had to. It was the only thing that would ease my pain. Is this some kind of joke? You're saying you did all of this out of jealousy? You were jealous that the boy you had a crush on liked me more than you, so you followed me around for the next 10 years? Yeah, and I said I was sorry. What else did you want from me? I'm older now. I'm a different person. I really regret doing all of that stuff. Well, some of it. And most importantly, drum roll please, I'm getting married. What? You are? I wanted to tell you in person at the class reunion, but you didn't come. That, and apologize properly for what I did to you when we were younger. Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I really don't care about you getting married. Huh? I appreciate you wanting to apologize, and I'm glad that you say you've changed, but none of that changes anything for me. I still don't forgive you, and honestly, I doubt I ever will. So, congratulations on your wedding, June. I hope you find happiness. I went out of my way to text you about my good news, and this is the reaction I get? Well, you might say you're not interested now, but I think that'll all change soon. Once I tell you a bit more about what I've been up to since we last met, you'll be dying to know more. Why are you talking so cryptically? Why spoil it now? I think I'll let it be a surprise. I cannot wait to see your reaction when you find out. Hey Harry, I'm sorry to bother you at work. This might seem a little sudden, but there's something really important I need to ask you about. Has there been an odd woman showing up around you lately?
No, not that I can think of. It's kind of a weird question. Can I ask what brought that on?
Well, it's a long story. There's this woman who's been practically stalking me for the last 10 years or so, and she's found me again. I just got concerned that maybe she was setting her sights on you next.
Huh? This still doesn't make any sense. What would this woman want with me?
Do you remember me telling you about an old friend of mine back in high school? She stole my boyfriend, the first boyfriend I ever had. And it wasn't just him. She put the moves on every single guy I was ever interested in for years. She texted me out of the blue just now.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about that weirdo chick. I thought vindictive psycho women like her only existed in movies, but I guess they really do exist in the real world too. So that psycho messaged you today, huh? That is a bit suspicious.
It's really freaking me out, honestly. She told me she was getting married, and from the sounds of things, her fiancé is probably someone I know. She was talking really cryptically too, like she was hiding just enough of the details to make me nervous on purpose.
Ah, I see. You must have thought she'd gotten her hands on me then.
Well, you are my husband, and the only man in my life.
You don't have to worry about a thing, babe. You're the only woman in my life, and it's gonna stay that way until the very end. Plus, with work as busy as it is right now, I wouldn't even have enough free time to cheat on you.
Yeah, that is true. You've been staying over at the office lately a lot and everything. About how much longer do you think you're gonna be this busy, Harry?
I wish I knew it's gonna be like this for a while yet. One of the new recruits made the mistake of the century the other day.
Uh-oh.
He somehow managed to delete 3 months worth of data from the company's server. So now we've got to focus on getting that data all back before we can move any further. So yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch in my office for at least the next few weeks.
Wow, I'm sorry about that, Harry.
You don't have to be sorry about anything. I'm the one that should be sorry. Since I'm stuck over here, we can't work on getting ready for the wedding. We can barely even spend time together. But look on the bright side, since you know I'm holed up in my office staring at a computer screen all night, you can rest assured that I'm not sleeping with your psycho stalker.
That's not much of a bright side, but I'll take it. But just be careful, okay? Just because she hasn't contacted you yet doesn't mean that she won't. I'm probably thinking too much into it, but I just have a really bad feeling, you understand?
I totally understand, honey. I'll be sure to message you whenever I have the time. That should help to reassure you, right?
Thank you so much, Harry. Okay, well, I'll let you get back to work now. Go ahead and call me if you want a fresh cooked meal, okay? I'll bring it right over to your office. So, tell me, Kelly, were you surprised? How did it make you feel when you saw my wedding invitation? Well, yeah, I was definitely surprised. I didn't actually expect you to send me an invitation. I thought I offended you too much when I told you I wasn't interested. That's not what I'm talking about, dummy. Don't tell me you didn't even open up the envelope. Okay, I won't tell you. Oh my god! You really didn't open it? Good grief. It's a wedding invitation! You don't just toss those on the counter and leave them there. I already told you I didn't want to come. Why should I bother opening it? Put me down as not attending. You're totally missing the points, Kelly. Go pick up the envelope and open it right now. And make sure you look very closely at the name of the groom. I think it might be somewhat of a familiar name to you, seeing as though it's your fiancé. My fiancé? Yep. Didn't I tell you? You must be really surprised right now. Oh, and just so you don't get any funny ideas, it's not a mere coincidence. And it's not that I just so happen to get engaged to someone who has the same first and last name as your fiancé. I'm engaged to your fiancé. Or should I say, ex-fiancé. What's going on here, June? You're engaged to my fiancé? What? It's quite simple, Kelly. A man that was briefly yours is now mine. I'm so sorry for stealing yet another man away from you, Kelly. But don't worry, this will be the last time, I swear. This is unbelievable. I'm not getting any younger, so I thought it would be a great time for me to lock in a good man for myself. But good grief, you would not believe how awful the dating scene is these days. I got tired of going to clubs and bars every night. Then, one day, I heard that you had finally snagged yourself a piece of happiness. I just couldn't let that happen. Not on my watch. So right then and there, I decided that I was going to steal your fiancé away from you and make my revenge complete. It's one thing to hit on my boyfriends, but my fiancé, that's a whole new level of wicked. Right? I was worried it was going to be a lot harder than all of the other times, but I couldn't believe how quickly he decided to just toss you aside. It was like taking candy from a baby. I had barely even met the guy, and he was already chomping at the bit to get with me. And it wasn't but a few dates after until he popped the question. Okay. No, I don't believe you. There is no way at all that my boyfriend asked you to marry him. I get what's going on here. You heard I was getting married and who I was getting married to, but your usual tactics didn't work on him. So now you're making this all up in an attempt to make me suspicious of him. Well, it's not going to work. I trust him. Believe it or not, it's the truth. And you're going to have to come to terms with it eventually, sweetie pie. I mean, you saw the invitation, right? There it is, black and white, clear as crystal. Your fiancé's name next to mine. Your fiancé proposed to me, and now he's my fiancé. He's breaking up with you to be with me. You have once again lost your man to me. I win, Kelly. You lose. Game over. Well, that certainly is a convincing story. You're missing one very important detail, however. I'm already married, and we have a child together. Huh? So, no, there is no possible way that you could be getting married to him. Not to mention, you must have heard wrong, because the name on this invitation is not my husband's name. What are you even going on about, June? Are you drunk or something? What? Hold on. This doesn't make any sense. What do you mean that's not your husband's name? I mean just what I said. That's not my husband's name. Where did you get your information from anyway? They told you I was engaged, not married. We've been married for a while now. Plus, like I said, we already have a child together who's almost a year old now. You have a kid? I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah, we kind of did what they used to call a shotgun wedding. I found out I was pregnant one day, so we went and eloped the very same day. The baby was born healthy and strong, and we're currently living together, just as happy as can be. No! That can't be true! It can't be! It's impossible! That is completely different from what I was told about you! I heard that you were still just engaged! I didn't know that you were married, or had a kid. I have no idea what sort of nonsense you heard about me, but if the rest of it is as accurate as that, then I can assure you it is all completely wrong. I'm not engaged to be married. I am married. I don't have a fiancé. I have a husband and a child. Also, the name on the invitation you sent me doesn't get my husband's first or last name correct, so you're 0 for 3. This can't be happening! I'm so confused. You mean my fiancé isn't your boyfriend? But that doesn't make any sense. I got my information from a very reliable source. Yeah? Then let's hear it, June. Where in the world did you get this, incorrect by the way, information about me and my husband? Who told you that I was engaged to whoever this guy is? Who is your very reliable source? You're my source, Kelly. You are. I got all this information firsthand straight from you. So there's no possible way I could be wrong about any of this. I went to your house, in person. What the? You went to my house? Are you serious? Yeah, and I saw your fiancé walking out of your house. He got into his car and drove off, but I managed to follow him all the way back to the place where he works. So I know for a fact that I'm right. My fiancé is your boyfriend. He has to be. I'm 100% sure of it. Wait a minute. You're saying you saw a guy with the same name going out of my house, but that's... Oh, wait a second. Now that I think about it, I may have actually seen this name somewhere before. You have? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Where do I know him from? I got it. I remember now. That's the name of one of the new recruits at my husband's company. Wait, what? Yep, I'm 100% sure of it. That's definitely who this is. My husband talks about this guy to me all the time. Apparently, this guy is an absolute disaster area. He keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake that costs the company tons of time and money. And my husband is unfortunate enough to be the guy that always has to be there to clean up the messes that he makes. It's thanks to your fiancé that my husband's been practically living at his office for the last month. Since he'd only been causing more catastrophic damage if he were around the office doing his actual job, my husband sends him to our house to pick up clean clothes, meals, and that sort of thing. At least he seems to be self-conscious of his incompetence. The other day, he came by to pick up dinner for my husband, and he said, "I guess if it doesn't work out for me at this company, I can always try being the Uber Eats driver." You have got to be kidding me! I bet it was at a time like that when you saw him coming out of my house, June. About a month or so ago, he was coming by the house just about every night to get something or another. So, you mean I did get the wrong guy? He's really not your fiancé? I've been operating under the assumption that he was for all this time. That's the only reason I worked so hard to get him interested in me. I thought I was stealing him away from you. And good grief. Am I glad you screwed that up so badly? I've been terrified ever since you started texting me a month ago that you were gonna steal yet another important person away from me. This sucks so hard! Come on! I can't believe this! How could I mess up so badly? I thought for sure I was going to see you have a complete emotional breakdown. I thought I was gonna break you so hard you'd be thrown into a mental asylum. But now I found out I got the wrong guy? God damn it! And the worst part is, we already got married. We eloped at the county courthouse just the other day. What? You already got married to him? This is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. You got married to a guy under completely false pretenses. This is the worst! I'm so pissed off right now. I waited years for this moment, and now it's ruined. Hey, getting mad at me isn't going to solve anything. And hey, it's not all bad, is it? So what, you got the wrong guy? You still got a guy, didn't you? You got married. Congratulations, June. For 10 years, you've been living with a broken heart from your first love turning you down. But now, you've got a man who's promising to love you forever. I can't do that! Think about it. You might have been under the wrong impression, but he still chose you. He loves you for who you are. You should be thrilled. I'd say the best thing for you to do would be to turn over a new leaf and live out the rest of your days as his loving wife. I don't need or want any advice from you, Kelly, so you can skip the stupid lectures. But as much as I hate to admit it, you kind of have a point. It really does suck that he wasn't your fiancé, and that is a major buzzkill. But he still works at the same company as your husband does, and that's one of the most powerful IT firms in the state. I guess I can just be satisfied in the fact that I landed myself a man with job security and a rapidly growing industry. Huh? Maybe this arrangement won't be so bad after all. The one thing that really kills me is the fact that my husband is your husband's subordinate. But I think I can manage to live with that now. With a high-value woman like me at his side, I think I can give him the push he needs to be better and further his career. Who knows? Maybe if I push him hard enough, he'll be your husband's boss someday. That's it. That's going to be my new motivation in life. I still have a shot to get my revenge on you, Kelly, and this time I won't mess it up. June, your husband doesn't work for the company anymore. He resigned. Uh-oh. Does that mean that your fiancé withheld a really important piece of information for when you got married? He resigned? It's like I was telling you earlier, June. Your husband was making a ton of mistakes, and not just minor ones. Big mistakes. The kind of mistakes that affect a company's bottom line. That's what made my husband turn his office into an Airbnb. What's worse is that your husband recently made his biggest mistake yet, like the mother of all mistakes. As patient as my husband is, this one was just too much for him to handle. In one final act of mercy, my husband encouraged your husband to resign from the company immediately, rather than wait until the end of the tribunal that would inevitably result in him getting fired for cause. No, I don't believe it. He never told me about any of that. He lied to me? Sounds like you and your husband need to sit down and have a little heart-to-heart talk then. Now, you both have something important to confess to each other. You dated him under the assumption that you were stealing him from me, and he married you while hiding the fact that he quit his job. I'm sure the two of you can find some way to come to an understanding. And with that, I'll be taking my leave for the night. Remember, I will not be attending your wedding, so please don't prepare a seat at the reception for me. Well, this is just great. You were right. He really did quit his job. How could he lie to me like that? What a scumbag. Oh, but he said he was keeping it a secret so that I wouldn't worry about him. Ha. Yeah, right. What a loser. I understand how it feels, honestly. If I were just about to get married, I wouldn't want my fiancé to know that I had quit my job either. Stop trying to console me. It's not helping. Not only did I fail at stealing your fiancé from you, I didn't even get the consolation prize of getting married to a guy working for a decent company. He resigned 2 weeks before our wedding, too. Who does that? Don't worry, June. Everything's gonna be fine. If he had the kind of resume that would get him into my husband's company, I'm sure he'll be able to find a good job elsewhere. You just need to be patient with him. Give him some time. Oh yeah, right. I'll wait for him to get another job, just for him to lose it again. Huh? What do you mean, June? It turns out he's been working his butt off in secret to find a new job before I realized what was going on. He actually managed to land a new job after just a week of job hunting, so everything's fine, right? Wrong. He made so many mistakes in his first 3 days on the job that they fired him already. 3 days? How do you mess up so bad that they don't even want to give you a whole week? Yikes. That's really too bad, June. Harry had always told me that your husband was a disaster waiting to happen, but that's insane. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone getting fired that quickly. It's a big waste of time and money for the company, too. In most cases, they just keep you on until they got a replacement for you. It's like he's trying to make all those mistakes. Oh, and another thing, he also happens to have the worst luck in the world. He left confidential company documents on the bus on his way to work. He realized it right away, though, and when he got back on the bus to get his bag, someone already stole it. Oof, that's gotta hurt. Then the next day, he borrowed a company car to go visit a client. He stopped by a convenience store on the way back to get a snack, and guess what happened while he was inside? Someone smashed all his windows and stole his bag, which contained confidential company documents again. His company fired him on the spot as soon as he got back. They're even demanding that he pay for the cost of the repairing of the car's windows. Holy cow. I'm starting to feel bad for the poor guy. This is awful luck. I thought I was gonna be on the fast track to the sweet life with him. I had resigned myself to being married to him and thought I would just have to try and make the best of it. I even came up with a brand new way of getting my revenge against you. But now, what am I gonna do? Why did I have to go and marry the wrong guy? Why couldn't it have been your husband coming out of your house that day? I wouldn't have cared. I still would have tried to steal him from you. I probably would have made it feel even better. Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that you'd have no qualms with trying to start an affair with a married father. So, I guess this can only mean that your current situation is divine punishment for being such an evil person. I'm not evil! You are, but don't let that hold you back. After all, your husband needs the loving support of his wife to propel his career forward. If you can do that, I'm sure you'll still find happiness in life. Screw that! How am I supposed to be happy living with a guy who makes mistakes as often as he breathes? You'll have to come up with an answer to that for yourself. Oops, my kid's crying. Gotta go. Enjoy your newlywed life with your darling husband, June. June's husband got right back to looking for a new job, and he found another one in short order, from which he was then fired in short order. As a result, June was left with no choice but to become the family's breadwinner herself, and her husband decided to give up working altogether and become a full-time housewife, or house husband. Is that a thing? In any case, it's definitely not a thing for him. He burns the food when he cooks, burns the shirts when he's ironing them, and burns through their limited finances with his awful spending habits. So, yeah, they're having quite the eventful newlywed life. It seems like June must be pretty busy because she hasn't sent me a single message ever since. I heard that she's too busy to make next year's class reunion, so it looks like I'll be able to go to this one this time.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Mrs. Anderson, did you eat the strawberries that were in the fridge again? I was saving those for myself. Oh my, I'm sorry. I made some strawberry jam with them. I can't believe you. Those were expensive. You can only get them at selected shops. They were imported straight from Japan. But they seemed like they were about to start molding. I've been thinking about this for a while. But you need to make sure to only buy food in quantities that you feel confident in finishing. I understand that you like to take your time eating those nice things, but you always end up letting them spoil. It's just a waste. I'm sorry. Did I ask for your opinion? I don't need to hear anything from a person who's too poor to afford nice things. You wouldn't understand how it feels to cherish these things. Did you just call me poor? This is too frustrating. I can't take this anymore. I only decided to move in with you because Larry told me that there would be a bunch of benefits for me. But all you provide for the two of us is stress. What? You use the nice things that I buy without any permission. You only pay a small fraction of the rent. And worst of all, you don't even spoil your daughter-in-law, regardless of how much she's done for you. I'm sorry, but what have you done for me? I let you live with me! Didn't Larry let you know that he wanted to live with me before the two of you decided to get married? That doesn't matter. I can't take this anymore. I've decided that I'm going to stop acting like the nice little housewife that I always try to be. I'm going to stop myself being such a sweet soul to you, and I'm taking better care of myself. Have you ever really been kind to me? You call yourself a housewife and try to look nice in front of Larry. But we both know that the truth is that I always do the housework, while you lie down on the couch, scrolling on your phone. Shut your mouth, you peasant! Don't you dare speak to me like that! You need to keep in mind that the only reason that you have a place to live is because my husband and I are kind enough to provide for you. Larry, I need to tell me what you told Molly to convince her to live with me.
Huh? What do you mean, Mom?
She just threw all of her anger at me, that this isn't what she signed up for, and that you told her that there would be benefits on her side by living with me. She even went as far to call me a peasant, and that I should be ashamed of not being able to spoil her. Molly told me that you were the one who came up with the idea to live with me and that you convinced her to do so. So I need to know what you told her.
Just come clean with it. I need to know this to straighten out this whole situation. Besides, I've been having a feeling that you're lying to me for a while now.
What?
I mean, you had a bunch of money inherited to you when Dad died, didn't you? He worked at a decent company, so I imagine the insurance was great. Therefore, I figured that you had enough to be well off for the rest of your life. Maybe even better than well off. So I told Molly that you would support us a pretty good amount per month if we let you stay over at our place. So we had a discussion and decided that it would be best to rent the money that we need for now and have you support us to pay it back.
And you tried to ask me to live with you guys without raising any suspicions by keeping something so huge from me? Wow. I remember how happy I was when Molly told me that she wanted to keep me close for when I grew old. It was all about just money. Huh.
You don't have to say it like that, Mom. Don't you enjoy our company?
After finding out about your motives, no, I don't. You turned Molly into a cold-hearted liar. Now all she does is complain about my presence and call me poor. I should never have even bothered living with the two of you. So explain everything to Molly right now. That there was never a conversation about me providing for the two of you and that you lied about it. And while you're at it, apologize and tell her that you'll single-handedly provide for her from now on.
What? How did our conversation end up in that direction? You're supposed to be understanding and help us more with future payments.
Why would I do that?
Because Molly isn't the same girl as the girl I met either. Ever since my salary started going down, she's been constantly irritated about my presence too. Thanks to that, she and I haven't been doing so well as a couple.
I can't say that I didn't notice how her behavior towards you had changed as well.
Even in this situation, I believe that you would help me. Because you're my mother, and that's what mothers should do for their sons. But you didn't even bother offering help, and now you're trying to abandon me in this situation and leave everything in my hands. Don't you see how harsh you're being? You're my mother, so do something.
Are you kidding me? How old are you? Someone your age needs to pick up their crap and finally become independent.
I'm the one who should be asking you if you're kidding me right now. What kind of mother behaves like that to her son? If you're going to be so cold, then fine. I see how it is. I could kick you out of the house as soon as I want.
You are going to kick me out? Even though you're the one who suggested that I live with you in the first place.
If that happens, you're going to be in big trouble, aren't you? You sold our house and all of the land that you owned before moving in with us. You have nowhere to go back to, right? You don't want to become homeless at that age, do you? All you have to do to avoid that outcome is to stay in that house and keep paying your rent to us.
I can't believe this. You're threatening me. I've raised my son into a monster.
Come on, I'm just negotiating, Mom. Besides, you still have the money that you earned by selling our old house, didn't you? I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to pay a little bit of rent every month. I look forward to our business together. Well, we couldn't have had such a nice house without you, so thank you for your support.
When are you going to pay your rent for this month? Larry told me that you would be paying $3,000 for rent this month. Why have you not still paid us? What? $3,000? What kind of joke is that? Are you telling me that Larry lied to me again? Why does he always lie to get out of trouble when he knows that he's going to get caught? Never mind then. I'll just tell you myself. Larry and I will be asking for $3,000 each month as rent from now on. Are we clear? You can manage to do that, right? No, I can't. I already pay an amount that will pay well over my expenses in a month, and now you're asking for $3,000 a month? I'm only paying the same amount that I used to. $1,000 for each month is enough. I guess this means our negotiation has failed. I'll pack up your things and leave them outside. So gather those things and please leave. What? This is your last chance to change your mind. If you promise to pay $3,000 every month, then we'll let this incident slide. I won't throw your things outside. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to pay $3,000 each month as rent? Or are you going to be homeless and spend your nights on a bench in a park? Feel free to make the choices that fits your preference. I can't believe you. You can't just kick someone out like that. As you've already figured out by now, I'm barely getting by at this point, thanks to your dumb little son who couldn't manage to keep his job. We don't have the option to keep another mouth to feed for free. You don't keep me around for free. I pay my part of the expenses. And you say that you don't have the option, but I don't see you getting a job either. Stop arguing with me. My job is to take care of the house. I'm not going to go out and work like a peasant, so you need to pay rent and account for that. How does that make any sense? But you choose to ignore our needs and neglect your part in supporting us. Have you used up all of the money that you earned through selling your house already or something? It's my money, and I get to use it however I want. How selfish can you be? You use all of your money for yourself while your son and daughter-in-law are struggling to get by. I can't imagine how easy it must be to rely on someone else to live while not making any contributions whatsoever. But that ends now. If you can't pay your rent, then get out of my house this instant. So that's all I was to you, huh? You never cared about me. You just wanted to use me as an ATM. Well then, I'm glad to leave. Shut up, you poor old hag. I mean, what else did you expect to be to us? The only good that you do is pay us, so I think it's fair that we only see you as an ATM. You're not worth the space in our house. You need to leave and never show up ever again. There's literally no point in letting you live with us, you parasite. I guess I'll move into the luxury nursery home with a built-in country club in the town next door. Seriously? I guess he got his habit of lying from you. I'm being serious. And where on earth do you think you're going to get the money for that? I have every single cent that I need to afford it. I currently have $2 million worth of assets. So you can probably do the math that I have enough to spend a lifetime in a nice place like that. 2 million? How? I think I'll get going now. I promised my friend that we would go have some tea together, so I'll go do that. As a matter of fact, I'll stay at a friend's house for the night, so please leave my things at your front door. I'll be moving into my dream environment after that, so you won't have to see me ever again. I can't tell if you're joking. You're kidding about the $2 million, right? Even if your husband passed away and left an inheritance, $2 million is unrealistic. Oh, it's not my husband's. I made it myself when I was younger. What? Yes, I bought some real estate with the money that my husband left behind, so I have $5 million if you include that. I hit the jackpot with the apartment I bought and started renting out. You have $5 million? How? Because I plan ahead and save up money before I make financial decisions, unlike your dumb little husband. The whole situation doesn't make any sense. Even your son hasn't told me anything about money like that. I'm sure he'd be aware if you had the assets like that. I've actually never mentioned it to him before. I sold the company that I was running at the time as soon as he was born. So, you sold your company? You're trying to tell me that you were a business owner? Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. I was a big risk taker when I was younger. I started lots of businesses, and most of them failed, but one of them really took off, and it expanded to a pretty good scale. I can't believe this. I married my husband right after that, though. So, I ended up selling the company for a pretty good time. I found it more important to marry and devote myself to the love of my life. Therefore, I sacrificed the potential of becoming a billionaire to pursue it. How could you sell your company for a reason like that? Are you stupid? Do you think so? Because through my eyes, it seems like you and I are doing the exact same things, quitting our jobs to become housewives. I just wanted to support my husband with everything I had, so I did exactly that. He was very kind, but he had trouble balancing his tasks, so I had to step in all of the time, and I enjoyed it a lot. The money that I got was just a bonus. And that's how you got $2 million? Exactly. So that's probably why Larry never mentioned it to you. He simply only knew me as a housewife. The subject just never came up, because we were all happy with the situation that I created. My brain can't keep up with all of this. Then, you can look it up the internet tonight. The company is still pretty large in scale. I'm sure you can find my Wikipedia or something as its founder.
Mom, what do you mean you used to own a business? Why did you never tell me about this? And your savings? That should have been the first thing to bring up when you started living with us.
Let me ask you this. Why would I have to tell you what my savings are? In fact, why should I even financially support you?
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. This is my money, so I get to use it however I want to. Is there some type of law that obligates me to help you out because I'm your mother?
But I'm your son. Isn't helping me out when I'm struggling the normal thing to do?
You don't get it, do you? I'm not going to help you, especially because you're my son. I care for you, so I need you to learn how to keep going on your own.
Come on, Mom, don't be like that. Look, I'm sorry about all of the things that Molly said to you. I really am. And I'll make sure that she understands her faults too. So, can you please come back and live with us? Molly is saying she'll do all the housework from now on, and I'm sure things are going to work out this time. All you need to do is support us the way you always did, and all are going to be well.
Sorry, but I just finished signing up for the nursing home that I was talking about earlier. So, no, I won't be moving back with the two of you anymore.
What? Have you already finished signing up?
I mean, I can't just stay at a friend's house forever, can I? The place I'm moving to has a whole building to itself, so I'll be spending the rest of my life shopping and sipping margaritas next to a pool. My friend even said that she's moving in with me, so we'll be having the time of our life.
They own a whole building? And a country club is inside. How much is that going to cost you? You could save so much money living with us instead.
I'd rather use everything I have on myself than let you two parasites steal from me. I hope you and Molly live happily alongside each other. Don't mind me anymore. The poor old hag will be living in a beautiful nursing home with everything she needs to be happiest she could be. Mrs. Anderson, what have you done? What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. I really don't. The neighbors, they kept staring at us like we're criminals. And when we approach them, they won't even look at us in the eye. It's very difficult to live comfortably when you're surrounded by people who treat you like that. And why do you suppose that I was the one who did something? Because we haven't done anything to any of them. And this all started as you left our house. Well, I'm so very sorry for the two of you. It might be because I stopped donating to the city. What do you mean? I'd actually been donating to the city for a long while now. You know, giving back to your community feels great. So I'd make large donations towards schools in this area. I also donated all of the money that was used for the furniture of the city hall that was built up a while ago. I'd make donations like the above every year. You do all of that for people that you've never even met? But you still can't pay for our house. How is that fair? Because a couple of adults should be able to account for their own expenses on their own. I lived in that city, and the responsibility was partially mine. So even though I'm not strong enough to participate in volunteer activities, I contribute by using my wealth for the good. But now that I've left that town, I've stopped making those donations. It's not my responsibility anymore. What are we supposed to do now? Everyone knows that the two of us were the reason that you had to leave. So everyone in the city thinks of us as nuisances now? I mean, there aren't many people who are capable of making donations that scale every year. So I guess there won't be anyone to replace me. But it's none of my business anymore. And I have to go easy on spending to keep living in this environment. So all I can say is good luck. What do you mean good luck? How are we going to keep living here if every single person hates us? Please, come back to town. There's no way on earth that I will ever go back. I mean, who in their right mind would leave a living dream to go back to live with a crappy married couple? If the donations are the problem, then why don't you two just make the donations instead of me? It feels amazing to be able to give back to your community and be appreciated by the people at the same time. I think I've always had a thing for taking care of others. Then take care of us too. Please. Why are you so cold to only us two? Because it's my policy. I only like to take care of people who I like. Do you not like us? No. I like everyone in that city because they supported me a lot when my husband first passed away, and I had to start raising Larry alone. That's when I decided that I wanted to start making the donations. I'm proud to say that I can probably make any type of sacrifice for the people who I love. But I can't do that if I hate you, right? I don't want to pay a single cent for the two of you. You hate us that much? Your own son and his wife? Yes. Even a grandchild wouldn't convince me to bring the two of you into my life ever again. I can't believe you just said that. Boo-hoo. I know it'll be tough, but I hope you two get up on your feet and try to make it work there. Now, I'll go have my afternoon tea on the terrace with my friends now. Goodbye. After that, I immediately met with my lawyer and wrote a will that stated every penny in my name will be donated to non-profit organizations from all around the world. As soon as I sent a letter letting them know, Larry and Molly stopped spamming me with their emails begging me to come back. It seems that they're finally going to start working hard and taking initiatives in their own lives. Larry started studying to earn a certificate that will lead to a promotion in his workplace, and Molly started a part-time job at a cafe as well. It seems that everyone in the city still says the horrible things behind their backs and when they pass by. But they're still trying to earn back their place in the community. Hopefully, everything works out for them, and they can be proud of achieving that.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.